In this PowerPoint, we're going to look at investment decisions. We're going to look at future value and return on investment. Now, this slide is not available in your text, so you won't see a chapter here. But I think it's very important that you understand investment decisions when you talk about budgeting, because you want to be able to see how your money can help you make money, and so you want to be able to evaluate your decisions based on a future return. Now, future value is the polar opposite of present value, whereas a future value asks the question, how much is this amount of money that I have in my hand today worth at some specified date in the future? Whereas present value says, okay, I want to know how much a future value would be worth today. So both are projections, but going in two different directions. Now I want you to see the bottom that for the example, $1,000 has a value of $1,120 in 1 year, assuming an annual return of 12%. That's a future value. Where did I get that future value from? Well, I looked in my appendix, and appendix 1, like we did our present value, but instead of looking at appendix A2, we're looking at A1, page 506. That's your future value of $1 interest rate chart. It's not your cost of capital. You're looking at an interest rate. So you're looking at revenues being added. So you use the chart the exact same way you use future value. So you take your number of years, take your eye down to the number that you're looking for. So in this example, we're looking at number 1, and we take it over to the annual rate of return, which is 12%. You see the factor of 1.12. Multiply that by your sum, which is 1,000, and it gives you your future value of 1,120. Once you compare that to your present value, you assuming that 12% represented a 12% cost of capital, and I want you to just see what the difference would be. Now here's another example that I want you to see if you can figure out on your own. The next slide will give you the answer, but before you get ahead of yourself, see if you can read through this problem, follow the steps, and figure out the answer on your own. Hopefully you were able to do that and you came up with this answer, $592.08. If you see it on exam, I may say approximately $592 or something of that nature. So here's the problem. Jim deposited $400 in a money market account 10 years ago. He never added or withdrew any funds from that account over that period of time. His account averaged a 4% return over that period. So how much money is in that account? So what you should have done is go to the number of years. You would have went down. You would go down to the number 10, and then take your eyes across to 4%, and it should give you a factor of 1.4802. You multiply that number by your amount deposited, and it gives you a future value. Now, a future value of an annuity. What is an annuity? An annuity is a amount of money that is invested over the same period of time for a number of years. So in this example, you have $400 going into a money market account every year, and it's getting a 4% return. So what's happening is having compounded interest over time. So you would not use table A1-1, page 506. You would actually use page 507, A1-2, which is the future value of annuity. So the future value of annuity, you would do it the exact same way, but you'll use a different chart. So you want to be conscious of which chart you use. So see if you can solve this problem on your own as well. Hopefully you have done so successfully and you would arrive at this answer. Now, return on investment. Now, return on investment is very important because this is a very, very common business calculation. This allows you to see what your return will be on a particular investment, or projected return will be on a particular investment, if you were to make that investment and receive this type of projected return. And of course, that projection will probably be based on your forecast. So you're forecasting a rate of return, or return on your investment. So here the formula is simple. Return on investment equals your return minus your initial investment all over your investment, and that gives you a percentage. So the rate of return is always in a percentage, not in a dollar. So you don't look at your rate of we don't want your return on investment in terms of dollars, but in terms of percentage. So look at this example and see if you can solve it. So if you solve this problem successfully, you see that your return on investment is 80%. So you have $500,000 return minus your $100,000 investment all over your $500,000 investment will give you a 80% rate of return.